episode 7.
Welcome. Welcome back. And we got a special one.
Two-parter. It's our first two-parter. We figured this one was going to be long, so we'll probably do about an hour. An hour each.
We have a lot to talk about, kind of, so that's why we decided to make it a two-parter. And, the goal we've had from the beginning is, we want to be relatable and we want to entertain the listeners as much as possible. But I think by being relatable, that's the best way to keep you guys engaged as fans. And that's why we got a two-parter coming at you, because this is something that everyone... Can you think of anyone we know that hasn't at least
partaken in either of these?
Yeah.
Well, if you haven't noticed, the episode is either called Buds and Suds or Tubes and Booze. We'll decide later. But, I mean, pretty much everybody over, 16? I mean, okay, even if you're prude, everybody by 18 or 19 has tried alcohol or weed.
Even if you just tried it once and then you're complete, no, I'm not going to drink or do drugs. You have tried it, so you have your own story about that first time. And then from that point, whatever you had to go through to have that experience. And we're going to try to break down every asset of that experience that everyone kind of had to go through when you first did drugs and alcohol. And when we say drugs, we're just talking about weed, so.
Yeah, not even a drug, really.
No, shouldn't be.
So part 1, we're going to kind of break down alcohol and weed, alcohol versus weed. And then part 2, we'll bring you some lighter topics, some stories. What else are we going to get into for part 2?
Some stories, and then we're just going to try to break down what we all went through, because the process itself was pretty universal in terms of what you had to go through when you were in high school and trying to live on the edge, have that spark of adventure almost.
Yeah.
The
whole party planning, all that. We'll get into that.
But I don't know about you. I think we're on the same page here, but alcohol, when you drink it, when you consume it, you feel much different than when you are consuming marijuana.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can't even really compare the two.
No. I mean, you can do them and then in the same kind of situations. But yeah, in terms of how you're physically feeling, it's...
But not even, because I guess you could never have a party and just have weed there.
No.
Everyone would just be chilling.
It would not be a party.
No. But you can also have just a chill drink. You can get drunk with your home, a smaller group.
Yeah,
and it'd be a chill drink,
but the chill is not the same.
No.
It's a different kind of chill.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's exactly our point, is that you can't feel the same.
No, because when you're drunk chilling, you're still drunk, so you're fucked up.
Yeah.
And I guess you're not, I don't know how to really say it, but
when you're weed chilling, you're there, your mind is just kind of in an elevated state almost.
Yeah, you're just
but
when you're happier, a little
I feel like when you're drunk chilling, you're just kind of not even there. Your mind's just you're just drunk. So
you're
it's
just hammered, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll start off with alcohol. In terms of, where did we first begin with it? How we think it makes you feel, how it might make social situations different when that's the only thing present. And, for me personally, yeah, there's probably, I think it was sophomore year is the first time I did it and got, the plan was to get drunk, I don't know. You probably tried it before then, but it was your parents were
I remember
"Here, try it,
my first actual beer was it was 8th grade, and somebody in your grade gave me a warm beer, in the
Ugh.
woods behind like one of our
Oh yeah.
homies' house, and I drank like maybe 3 sips and dumped it because it
Yep.
was terrible.
That's I
And
know
it was
exactly.
warm too. Like he just had a backpack full like warm Bud Light. It might have been like fucking Keystone or something shitty, but whatever it was, I could not. I couldn't. I couldn't put it down.
Yeah, back then for me when I had my first beer, I remember I don't know if it was the exact first time, but it was the point where like you were drinking it to be cool. You weren't even trying to get drunk. You're just like, holy fuck, I'm having a beer. And it was at my one friend's house, and there was like a group of 4 or 5 of us. And one of the kids, like we were sipping on it, and we were like, whoa, this is fucking crazy. And one of the kids goes, like, what the fuck are you doing? And we're just like, what do you mean? He's like, why are you doing that? Like, what is wrong with you? We're just
He
like,
was
yo,
just
relax,
devastated.
bro. He took all of them, went behind his house. There were like 4. Went behind his house and chucked them into the woods.
Just fucking
And we're
whipped
like,
them.
dude, what the fuck, man? And he's just like, I will not let this happen to you guys.
I can't. I can't stand idly by while you
Yeah,
guys throw your lives away.
exactly. And like, of course, now today, like he's 22 years old and gets hammered all the time and
Well,
does drugs. But
I
it's like at the time, it was just hilarious. He was like, I will not stand by and witness you guys throw your futures away.
I remember towards the end of 8th grade, uh, me and one of my buddies, we would smoke like cigars. So we usually smoke Swishers or like strawberry Phillies. Strawberry Phillies were my shit. But I remember one day, it was like after school. We were at the middle school, like watching a basketball game, and I like broke the news to Sickles that I smoked cigars, and he was devastated, bro. Like he was like, "Bro, that's so fucked. Like you can't be doing that, man." And then, of course, like a month or two later, he's like texting me. He's like, "Yo, bro, can you get some cigars?"
Yeah,
Because like
exactly.
even for cigars, we had to go through a
Oh
process. Like
yeah,
I
I
had to
mean,
hit the upperclassman up, and
yeah, we weren't 18,
he'd like
so
come by my house, and I'd overpay way like I know I was getting taxed, but
the first
fuck
thing
it.
I ever smoked was that vape that had the light at the end. It was like green apple flavored.
Oh yeah, the
Didn't
little
buzz you.
fling
Yeah.
e-cigs.
I don't even know what was in it, but like it couldn't do anything to you. You were just smoking it to like be able to smoke something, and we were like,
And it
"This is
was
crazy." I
delicious.
didn't inhale either. You just put it in your mouth and blow it out, and the light lights up, and you taste like green apple. You're like, "I'm fucking hood."
You're like, I really want to smoke
Yeah.
now.
um, but yeah, that was the first time for everything, and as we started getting into the party scene, I guess as we got a little bit older in the high school years, getting alcohol was a struggle. So you basically took what you could get.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the beginning was like Burnett's. That was huge. Citrus Burnett's with a little yellow cap,
Oh,
because you could get like a handle of that for like $12 or something.
yeah.
You'd pay 20.
And it's just funny. It's like the classic, like the plastic bottle.
Oh,
It's
it's
just
disgusting. It
you
smells
had
like
to.
rubbing alcohol.
Yeah, I don't. I never took like a shot of that ever in high school.
No, because like I feel like even when we like for a lot of uh the beginning times of me drinking, like I feel like I didn't even really drink that much.
No, definitely not.
Like I'd let the vodka like touch my lip, and I'd just be chilling for the rest of the night.
It was my drink was 10% max Burnett's, 90% Sprite.
Oh yeah.
Like, and I was like, this tastes like shit, dude.
Well, I remember like back in the day, it was probably we were probably like 8th grade, maybe freshman. Uh, but like the one kid I was hanging out with, he would like take wine coolers, like Seagram's wine coolers from his mom, and
Those taste.
those fuckers go down like no
Oh
matter
yeah,
how old
they
you
taste
are. It's
amazing.
just straight juice. And when those fuckers are cold on a summer day, bro, you can put those back. So
Incredible.
I feel like those were probably like my first drunk times, because I mean, you're 14 or 15 and you drink 2 or 3 fucking Seagrams. Shit's, I mean, you're feeling it for sure.
But for me, like first like party I can even remember I went to was like an after homecoming sophomore year. Freshman year I didn't even drink at all, I don't think. Then like sophomore year homecoming, you go to an after party and yeah, there's like literally Burnett's is the only option, and then there's just a fuck ton of soda, and so you just
Burnett's and Blue Wave
oh
and Red Wave.
blue wave, dude.
Dude, I can. Oh, it like makes me nauseous just thinking
I
about
almost
Blue
just like
Wave.
gagged right now, like if you saw that. But
It's disgusting.
yeah, and someone in the group is like guaranteed puking, like passing out drunk, but at some point in the night.
I mean that even like kind of applies still.
Yeah,
When like we're at parties, even when it's just small parties with
but
like high school people, usually someone gets like too fucked up.
they're
But back then, it
actually
was a guarantee that someone was getting like absolutely totaled, not knowing where they were, puking everywhere, like considering calling their parents level. like,
yes.
like we think they're gonna die when they're really just like
No.
six
Well,
shots
that's
deep
and that
and
connects to
way
what I
too
was about to
drunk.
say is like now if like one of our friends is like puking, like they're fucked up. Whereas
Oh
like back
yeah,
then, I think like you probably had an average amount and you were gone, and everyone that was like quote unquote drunk wasn't.
no,
Like you had a little bit, and then everyone was just kind of vibing, and the person that actually had like a decent amount was destroyed in the bathroom. Parents are like you said considering getting involved.
do you like the taste of liquor at all at this point?
Tequila right now, like truly in my heart, I enjoy taking tequila shots.
Really?
Like I like the taste, not literally, but like when I'm taking it, it's like I want that feeling of taking the shot.
yeah.
Like cuz it's kind of
The whole
painful.
experience with the lime and
Yeah,
the and the
exactly.
and the salt.
I mean, the physical like drink tequila tastes like shit, but like the whole thing together, it's like I want it.
Dude, there's like uh certain liquors at this point. And like I mean, like if you have an ice cold beer on like a hot ass day, like it just tastes
Tastes amazing.
amazing
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
Corona with lime, true, but it's
Oh
not a
yeah.
liquor, obviously. But like, if
No,
you're
but
having that on a hot day and it's cold and you got the lime in there, and it's just like a beautiful drink.
but back to liquor real quick. Um like honestly, I enjoy the taste of Tito's sometimes.
Really,
Like just straight Tito's, just like I'll pour a little drink, probably like 2 or 3 shots on some ice. Delicious.
really.
Or my new thing is Jack Daniel's Tennessee Fire.
Mm. We know a lot of people that fuck with that hard.
Delicious, dude. If you don't know, it's literally Fireball, but it's a little more high class, a little smoother.
But it's funny, like when you're younger, like you never like think when you're drinking it and it tastes like absolute shit when you were young in high school, you couldn't even fathom a day when you would enjoy the taste of
That's
it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy.
But now we
like
truly do.
I really fucking like Tennessee Fire now.
Yeah.
Like if I'm taking shots, it's gonna be Tennessee Fire because that shit's it's just so delicious. It's cinnamon. It's real smooth.
But you
Mm.
look at your parents and you look at people in movies that just kind of drink alcohol for like leisure, and you're just like, why the fuck would you like ever do that?
I know.
Like I'm only doing this to get fucked up, and even then, it's just a struggle.
But then you get to the point, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, it's not that bad. It's
Now
like
it's
coffee.
exactly. Now it's at that point for us,
When you
and
try
it's
coffee
evolving.
when you're a little kid, that shit's disgusting.
Terrible.
And now, like,
People need it.
yeah. Oh, it's. I mean, it's probably the most. There's probably more coffee or caffeine addictions than any other addiction.
Now, right? I mean, when seltzers came into the game,
Game changer, bro.
everything changed because
Drinking a claw right now.
they taste good. You know, you can obviously taste that it's not like a fucking soda or an iced tea, but you're
Some of them you can't though.
yeah. Well, they just go down and you enjoy drinking them, and they have a decent amount of alcohol in them too, which is incredible.
And it's kind of weird because like I was talking about wine coolers. Wine coolers have existed forever, and it's like pretty much the same idea. It literally is. They're carbonated. They're fruity. They don't taste like liquor at all, but they have the same percentage as a beer, pretty much.
Have seltzers always existed?
I don't think so. Not like straight clear seltzer. It's
Exactly.
always been like a fruity, like soda almost.
Exactly. Now that you say that, now I'm like, wait, are they just now getting popular, or were they literally like invented in the past like couple years, and we're just like, holy fuck, what a solid invention.
Well, they even have water now, dude.
Oh yeah, ones without taste.
Yeah, and no carbonation. It's
Yeah.
literally water that gets you drunk.
Yeah.
Like, there's a line in people are starting to cross it.
Oh yeah, those scientists are in the lab
Because if you think
chefing.
about it, like I mean, you're not marketing to kids, but it's just making it way easier for kids to drink, dude.
Way easier.
You give a case of Claws or Trulies to a bunch of 15-year-olds, dude. They're having a fucking great night.
Oh yeah. So, maybe kids sad, but maybe some high school kids like never have to go through what we went through. Like they can just start with White Claws and ease their way into like liquor.
Yeah, no warm beer and
It's
Burnett's.
kind of sad.
But the thing is, unless you're taking money from your parents, uh, seltzers are fucking
Oh
expensive,
yeah.
dude.
True.
Like what is it? 12? Do Claws come in 16?
Not 12.
12. The 12 pack's like $20.
Yep.
Or you could pay $20 for like 30 beer.
Yeah. Which is what we had to go through, and we didn't really enjoy them. I mean, I guess I can only speak for myself, but like in high school, drinking beer, there was never a time when I enjoyed drinking beer in high school, but it was cheap, so it was always the thing I drank.
Yeah, people will be like, "Oh, I love beer, bro," but like,
Yeah,
do you?
definitely trying to just be sick.
Do you, bro?
You don't love beer. Even now, like sometimes I can't even drink a beer. And now that we have options, now that I'm over 21, you're about to be like, it'll take me being in the mood for beer to want to have one.
Dude, I've probably had like enough beers to count on one hand since like White Claws took over.
And that's another thing. Good transition is like the feeling you get when you're drinking beer, that drunk is different than if you're drinking seltzers only, and then you're getting drunk that way. And then compared to
You think
drinking
beer
wine.
drunk is different than seltzer drunk?
Yeah.
Really?
I just think because the beer makes you feel like shit.
Yeah.
Like seltzers, like if I pound a bunch, like I don't feel amazing, but it's like
You
I
mean
feel
hangover
better.
wise or like
No, like in the moment.
in the moment?
Yeah.
Huh?
Because like if you pound too many beers, like I'm like bloated, like just feeling like garbage.
True. Yeah. When you
Whereas,
like chug a beer, you have to burp like 25 times
Yeah.
before you don't feel like you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But then like there's liquor drunk, which is that's like where belligerent like fucked up shit happens. Where
Yes.
people like go absolutely bananas.
Yeah.
If there's ever a story of somebody doing some crazy shit while they're drunk, chances are they're on liquor.
They're on liquor. Yeah. Like
And it's weird because it's all alcohol, but
it's kind of true. Like I've never really. I mean, I'm sure this is not true, but someone just drinking beer and they had like a bunch, and then they do like some stupid shit. Like I feel like there's always some liquor involved when like
Yeah,
some
or, like-
crazy shit's going down.
I don't know. I feel like it's just different. I feel like people are more aggressive on liquor.
Yeah. I think so too. And then wine, like I've never been a wine guy, and I can't wait till the day I become one because I feel like it's cool.
I like wine sometimes.
I just like
There's
still
like I don't like white wine, but there's some red wines that I actually fuck with. But like wine drunk, I don't know if it's because of the like environment that people don't go to a bar and drink wine.
True, it
They
might be
like
the
sit
environment.
around and drink wine.
Yeah.
But I feel like a wine drunk is more of like a yappy, annoying drunk.
Yeah. That's
Maybe some crying too.
that's the ultimate chilling drunk.
Yeah, like wine is the relaxation booze,
Yeah.
if you will.
But I mean, like my best friend at school turned 21 in November, and he has a twin, and his parents like paid for him to take me and like a couple friends, and we went to dinner, and it was a nice ass steak dinner, and we were like, fuck it, let's get some wine, like that would perfectly complement this. We weren't even paying for the meal, so we were like, have to. And like the whole time I'm like drinking it with my meal, and I'm like, I mean, it doesn't taste good.
No, like the thing is, if I have like a glass of wine at dinner, I need water too. Like that's not my beverage.
Yeah, I
Like,
have
you just
water, and I'm
take, like,
going in and
You
out.
take a couple sips in between each bite.
Exactly.
But
I'm
like
going in
if
and out.
if I'm thirsty, like I need a big glass of water.
Yeah, my primary drink is still the water.
Yeah. You just kind of nurse that
The
that
wine, yeah,
throughout
it's
your
like-
meal.
It's like a meal accessory.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
But like with a beer, um, or really any other liquor, like a beer or a mixed drink, like that can be your drink with your meal, and it like suffices.
oh yeah, the beer, like a burger and a beer.
Yeah,
It
like
just
you're
goes
fine.
hand
You
in
don't need
hand.
a water,
No.
or like even a mixed drink and like a burger.
But wine's just like so strong. I don't know.
And maybe
I
it's because it's warm.
I'm just not a fan at this point. Yeah,
It's the only liquor
true.
that, like, the only booze that you drink warm. I mean, you might
It's
take shots. You'll
intended.
take shots warm sometimes,
Yeah.
but like, yeah, nobody like. I mean,
I
I'm
mean, you
sure
can
there's some
chill
weird
wine.
fucks who put wine on ice and shit, but
No, yeah, chilling
generally,
wine is definitely normal, but I feel like it's of all the alcohol, wine is the most acceptable when warm.
yeah.
So it's like I'm not used to that
And
yet
it's
either.
weird. Well, I remember this kind of goes back into the travel episode. We were in I can't even remember where we were. I think we were in Switzerland, and there was this like weird like festival going on, and they had like hot wine. It was fucking disgusting, but people were like slurping that shit. It's like a cultural thing, I guess. I don't
How
know.
hot?
Like hot tea, hot coffee,
Oh,
hot chocolate. Like it was hot,
oh,
and it was like kind of cidery, but like also tasted like wine. And it was like real sweet. Fucking disgusting. I don't even know what it's called,
yeah.
but that's what that reminded me of.
Um,
And then is sake hot or no? I've never had sake.
Me neither. I don't know what temperature it's supposed to be. Like when
It's
they
I
give
don't
it
think
to
it's
you,
cold.
like if you go to Ichiban or a Benihana, like and you get a sake, I feel like that's the most common restaurant to get it at. I don't
Yeah,
know
you gotta
why,
be. Yeah, yeah.
but like I don't know what
You gotta
temperature
be
they
at
give
a
it to you.
hibachi spot.
I don't know what temperature like they serve it at. I feel like room
I
temperature.
think sake's wine,
I think sake's its own thing. It's like
isn't it?
tequila.
No, isn't it like rice wine or something?
Yeah. But that's what I mean, like tequila and vodka and whiskey, like those are all different. I think sake's its own thing as well.
Yeah,
It
but
doesn't fall under any of those.
it's not a wine or a liquor.
Yeah, I think it's just sake
It's just sake.
by itself. But yeah, I've never had it. Um,
There's a whole difference with like the social acceptances of the two as well. Weed compared to alcohol.
yeah,
Like it's really fucking like crazy that um that a plant is still illegal. And I know people like it's cliche to just like say it's a plant, like, but like literally it's a plant.
it grows from the ground.
Yeah, and that's illegal. And I mean, like the worst shit you can do when you're stoned is like fall asleep or like I don't know, like be overly sensitive
Yeah,
to like people's emotion.
like
you get hungry, like there's no harm really.
you can't like get like physically harmed through the impairment of marijuana,
Exactly. And then alcohol
but you
exists,
can.
and alcohol is like it's got to be $1 trillion industry.
Yeah, and you can physically get damaged
You can
and
die
die.
in one night of using it
Your health will deteriorate if you have too much.
quickly.
Yes. So like the fact that that's completely legal after a certain age and weed at no age at this point is it like fully legal?
Like, what do you think the reason is behind that? Because it's not even just America. Like,
It,
people might say it was the whole push on, like, the war on drugs and, like, reefer madness and all those, like, early pushes that were, like, anti-drug and anti-marijuana propaganda. But if you look beyond America, there's still very few countries that have fully legalized marijuana.
yeah. But
Why do you think
alcohol,
that is?
universally alcohol is accepted.
Why is like at what point did that become a thing? Because you can look back into ancient cultures thousands of years ago, and they they used marijuana for spiritual quests or whatever it might be, and then even like as recently as our some of our founding fathers, I think it was like Thomas Jefferson or maybe it was George Washington. One of them had like a fucking they had a weed farm. I think it was
Yeah,
Jefferson.
I've heard that.
So like at what point did it become this total 180 and be a Schedule 1 substance which is essentially legally it's just as bad as heroin, methamphetamines, cocaine, any other hard drug you can think of. Federally weed is still in that. Why?
Maybe because it's kind of classified with like an opium. because that also is a plant and grows. Like opium and marijuana are both plants, but obviously do very different things. And the fact that opium's so dangerous, they're just kind of like, yeah, any drug that's plant based is bad.
Tobacco.
True.
That's what I'm saying. It really makes no sense, and it's not even an American thing.
Fuck.
It's the whole planet,
Just got checkmated.
except like the Middle East and a few outliers like Amsterdam and or the Netherlands. Most places it's like very illegal,
And even
prison illegal for lighting a plant on fire.
in tying this back to like even like high school socially, like you could drink at 16 and like that was cool. But like for a lot of people, if you like publicly were known as someone who smoked weed, people were like, "Oh, that guy's like fucked."
Yeah, there's a whole social like stigma against it. It's yeah, I mean you're totally right because
In high school, if you smoked weed, people looked at you different.
we talked about that first night when we were chilling. We smoked it like during Pyro Fest. Came back, we had our sunglasses on, we had gum in, dude. We
Mhm.
were making an active effort to try to hide the fact that we smoked,
Yeah.
and there was like shame around it, and there still is to an extent. If
Oh,
you tell certain people
absolutely.
you smoke weed, they like look at you like you're a degenerate or you're like
Dude,
you're a bum. But
look at
it's
working, look
crazy.
at companies, look at professional sports. You get drug tested, you don't get alcohol tested.
No,
Like to have a job in some industries, you cannot smoke weed. So like that's
a
literally
ton of industries.
it's looked down upon. Literally, you can't do it. Whereas no one cares if you're drinking alcohol. So that's kind of crazy.
You can be drunk on the job,
Hmm. Well, I mean,
fuck some shit up, and if they just decide to do a blood test, you're probably fine.
companies have parties and events that obviously have alcohol at them. There's no like fucking weed station at these events.
Alcohol is like totally okay,
Yes.
but it can fuck you up. It can ruin your life. It can kill you. It can ruin your family's life. Like it can literally destroy a family.
One of the biggest companies in
No
sports.
family's been destroyed because the dad smoked too much weed.
Nah. Nah, there has.
If anything, it's financially.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's not like the physical like toll it's taking on the person.
That's
It's
what I'm
like
saying.
it's the
It's like
effects of
he's
it.
fucking
Yeah.
sitting around
Yeah,
getting
because
high,
he's
spending all
chilling.
his
Yeah,
money on weed.
he's chilling too much. He's not actually doing anything productive.
Yeah,
But
that's better than beating the shit out of your kids when you're hammered.
yeah, exactly. Or just like tons of driving drunk incidents. Like you said, like physically, it damages you.
I mean, we even know parents in Hampton who consistently drive fucking hammered.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's not acceptable, but like among the parents, like they're all like kind of cool about it.
Yeah. But and then I've seen like TikToks recently, as of like yesterday or a couple days ago, where like someone posted them like in a drive-through and they're baked and they're ordering, and the comments are like, "Why do you think it's okay to drive high and shit?" And I'm not saying it is okay. I'm just saying like, but driving drunk is like not worse. It's definitely worse.
It's way worse, dude.
People view them as the same, like, "Oh, you're driving impaired." I mean, technically, but the level of impairment.
Driving high is nothing if you smoke a lot too. Like it okay, driving high could be just as detrimental as drinking and driving. If I give like a fat bong rip to a fucking 90-pound girl who doesn't smoke and it's fucking fire weed, she takes that one hit, dude. She is going to crash when she drives that car.
Oh yeah,
But then
100%.
you flip it over and you have somebody who smokes every day smoke 3 or 4 bowls back to back to back. They can hop in the car and drive fine.
And on the flip side, you take someone who drinks every day, get them hammered, put them in a car, they're still fucked.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
Yeah.
there's no point in where your tolerance is like, "Oh yeah, I'm good to drive no matter what." Like,
Yeah.
So,
I mean, there's at least from my experience, maybe it's just because I've kind of smoked for a while, but like there's only been a handful of times where like I was like, okay, like I can't drive right now. And they were like the earlier days.
Yeah, I don't know, but we'll.
Or you even would have to worry about like going home and looking high.
Oh yeah, the eye drops, the fucking. Just I don't know. When I'm high sometimes and like I don't want it to be known, like I can just kind of snap into a mode, and I'm just kind of like,
Snap into
yo,
sober mode.
fucking like pull it together, dude. Whereas if I'm hammered, there's no pulling it together.
Sometimes, but like it's a funny pulling it. Like it's you're obviously still drunk pulling it together, but like props on the effort.
Yeah, you can't actually,
No.
but
But you can tell that the person's making like an effort to do it.
yeah,
Like when drunk people are trying to be like really respectful and nice.
yeah,
They're like, "Yo, dude, like I'm so sorry."
they're
bro.
kind of
Like,
overly
like,
respectful.
oh shit, like really nice to meet you. Like that kind of like that kind
It's
of
like
shit.
too much.
It's like, all right, like I get what you're trying to do here, but you're fucking hammered, so
Yeah.
relax.
But yeah, we'll transition into weed here. Um, like we mentioned earlier, it's definitely our preference. If we had to pick between the two,
Yeah, I'd get rid of alcohol right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even drink weekly. I probably drink monthly because I didn't go to college. So that's the other thing. Like I look at a lot of the people I'm friends with and grew up with, and I mean, a lot of it's probably tolerance, because they would say the same thing about me smoking. But like I could not drink Thursday, Friday, Saturday every week. Like it's very hard for me to drink 2 days back to back.
I think it depends on the type of person you are. I don't think it's the fact that you're not in college. Like I don't. I don't drink that much, but obviously like people I'm best friends with at school are hammered Wednesday through Saturday.
But you never drank like much.
But exactly, like it's the type of person you are.
Yeah.
I don't think it's about tolerance or anything.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. It could be either.
Because
don't
like
know
you
if-
said, the flip side is someone who drinks every day but smokes occasionally. They'd look at us and be like, "You smoke every day? How do you even
If, like-
survive?"
If like 70% of my friends tried to keep up with me in just one day, they'd be like fucking.
Degenerates.
They'd no.
They'd lose all.
They'd be retarded, dude.
Yeah, they. I
I'm
mean,
not supposed to use that word anymore. I'm sorry, but they'd be fucked in the head.
they just wouldn't be able to handle their lives.
Like I wake up in the morning and I fucking rip a bowl. Like, okay, first of all, the first bowl of the morning, you're fucking ripped. For whatever reason it is, maybe it's because you just went like 8 or 10 hours just doing nothing,
Breathing air.
just breathing. Yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know, but if you like, if I packed like a full bong bowl and gave it to like 90% of our friends first thing in the morning and told them to hit it, like it ruined their day. Absolutely ruined their day.
um,
So I think some of it's tolerance, but yeah, you're probably right. A lot of it's just like who you are and what you're meant to
I think
what you're
it's-
meant to do.
I think it's all natural too. Like you just gravitate towards one or the other, depending on the type of person you are.
But like everybody drinks. That's the other thing.
True. Not
And
everyone
it's
smokes.
definitely because of the social status and legality. But I mean, do you think like by the time we have like grandkids, we'll be at a point where everybody smokes weed? Sometimes,
I could see it getting to that point.
like everybody, because
Like
like
everyone tries. it.
everybody drinks. Like 90% of people drink.
Yeah.
Very few times do you meet people that don't drink at all, and if they do, it's probably because they're a recovering alcoholic.
And even then,
Or they're
like those
Donald
people are
Trump.
not like smoking strictly
Yeah.
and not drinking.
No.
So,
But yeah, I don't know.
but yeah, I don't know what it is about us and people that are like us, but smoking is just better overall. Everything about it. It's the feeling. It's kind of what
Like-
comes with it.
I I know it's a debate and it's just opinion and preference, but I really don't get how you could like alcohol more.
I just
Like,
like
socially, it's like it's really fun to get drunk and fucking dance and like just vibe. But when you get really fucking stoned, dude, you like go on a little journey.
it's just fun.
And
I don't
every,
know.
like-
That's definitely how they feel too, though. But like for me, it's just like it's fun when you're high.
Everything's amazing too.
Yeah,
Music, food,
everything.
everything's funny as shit.
It's just
And that's the other thing with with like alcohol, I don't know as much from personal experience, but with weed, if you smoke every day and you take a week off, that first time you smoke, you will get fried.
Destroyed.
If you take a month off, it'll be like your first time smoking,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like low key hallucinating.
But even
But
then,
with alcohol, I mean, you can stop drinking for a month and then start again, and like you won't have much of a tolerance. I don't think there's much of a tolerance change. It's more or less how much you can drink.
yeah, exactly. It depends on the person.
Like 3 beers is always going to be 3 beers, but it's whether or not you can get to that 30, or if you tap out at 15.
Dude, take like if you like took weed away from Wiz Khalifa for 2 weeks and then he smoked after that, like he'd be fucking baked.
That'd be a tough 2 weeks for Wiz.
Oh, it would. But yeah, you have it written here that you still get stoned off of one hit, which
Do you
is
relate to that?
yes.
Okay, because like I've heard some people be like how, bro?
I mean, obviously it
Like, I don't
depends.
know.
Like if you got like a joint and you hit it once, like you're probably not gonna feel much. But like if you're legit like smoking and you do one act,
Obviously, it's not the same as like the first or second or third time you smoked, where you take a tube and you're like fucking launched into the next
but you feel it.
solar system. But yeah, dude, when I take one bong rip and I'm fucking stoned.
Whereas like if you drink one beer right now, like you're not gonna feel it at all.
No.
Literally not at all. Unless you maybe shotgun it, maybe.
Yeah, but so like I feel like tolerance with weed is kind of weird because there's it's weird because with like other drugs and substances and stuff, so like take like I'll just say heroin, I'll say cocaine, never done either, but if you had if you have a cocaine addiction at a certain point, like 2 lines is going to do absolutely nothing for you. Nothing at all. Or like if you're a heroin addict, like one dose, like I don't know how to measure
I don't know
heroin,
what the fuck heroin how
but
it
like
works.
one dose isn't going to like it won't do shit for you.
No.
It'll just make you okay. Like it'll level you out, make you normal.
Kind of fucked, but yeah.
I mean that's
The
that's
facts.
yeah, that's how it is.
It's crazy.
But with weed, you always still get stoned from that like small amount, but you can smoke forever.
Yeah.
Like I think if I was challenged to smoke as much as I could, I'd tap out because like like it'd be hard on my lungs, not because I was too high.
I've gotten like too high. I mean, I don't know if you've ever. I mean, this is definitely just a me thing. I'm speaking
You
for
haven't been
myself.
smoking as much lately either with
Well, true, but I'm
with your
saying like
work
at
situation
points
and
in my
everything.
life, even the times where I was smoking like pretty much daily, there's one instance where, it's normally like a tube and it just like one tube goes down the wrong way. We have friends that have taken one tube and just like
instantly
literally
throw up and
yeah,
black out.
like you just like are done. You're done from that point. But yeah, normally that's not the case. You can just kind of just go and you're just kind of in the same kind of solid state the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know though, cuz like edibles are like a weird game too.
I
Like
I've had
every now and then I'll get edibles still, and like I'll pop a quick like 200 or 300 milligrams, which is like a good bit, and I'm like noticeably like fucked up.
I feel like sometimes with
Like
edibles,
I have trouble like keeping my eyes open, like I'm so changed.
that's what I was gonna say. Is like sometimes with edibles, I feel like because it's so hard to gauge like how it's gonna affect you, like you can visibly look like really bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You look absolutely shredded, dude.
Like that's when I see people whose eyes look at their worst, it's at times off of an edible.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
So I don't know.
Especially because like a lot of people are fucking scared to smoke, and so they're like,
And
"I'll
they-
try an edible." Okay,
Like, that's
don't do that.
dangerous,
Don't do
bro.
that ever. If you're listening to this and you don't smoke normally, don't eat a fucking edible. Okay.
I remember
If you do, literally eat a crumb. People are like, "Oh, like not actually a crumb." No, a crumb. Like the fucking size of one of those little
And
meatballs in
well,
fucking wedding soup.
even then, we'll
Tops.
break down edibles even more. Like the fact that it takes so long to hit is even more dangerous.
Oh, I mean, they have those cop calls. Those fuckers, like, people, like, eat them. Nothing happens because sometimes it takes, like, an hour or more to
Yeah.
kick in. So they eat, like, a brownie. Nothing happens. They wait a half hour. Nothing happens. 45 minutes goes by. They're like, fuck this. I'm going to eat another one. Okay. 15 minutes after that, the first one kicks in.
Yes.
Like, another 15, 20 minutes after that, the second one
Yeah.
piles on top of that. And you are fucked.
Exactly. Like when the first one kicks in, you're like, holy shit, like I'm really high. Like this is not good. And then the next one kicks in and you're like,
and it's like
I'm fucked.
it's like the whole idea, like it hasn't happened. Like I've never really freaked out on edibles or gotten too fucked up on edibles, but it's like the same idea as like taking like a hallucinogen. Once you do it, like there's no turning back.
No.
Like once you eat that brown, like
That's
go ahead, puke. Like you're fucked. You're still getting stoned.
Exactly. And so with edibles, I'm the same. Like I've never like tweaked off an edible, but that's because I know this stuff that we're saying. Like you have to err on the side of caution. Like if 30 minutes go by and I'm not feeling it, I'm just like honestly, it makes me even more nervous. I'm just like, holy shit, like this thing's about to hit.
Yeah.
And then it does, and you're just like, holy fuck, like I'm really high. Luckily not too high, but yeah, edibles are definitely dangerous.
Well, like lately, I've been talking to my mom. Like I've been trying to get my mom to smoke forever, and like recently, she's starting to get more. I think it's more likely that she'll do it at some point. Um, but like, yeah, like I was talking to her not that long ago, and she's like, "Yeah, I think I want to try like some gummies or something." I was like, "No, you fucking don't. All right, if you do, like 5 milligrams tops."
Well, at least they're like parents and they're like they know like what their intended goal of it is. But like young people that are like just want to get high and they're like, I don't like smoking, I'll take an edible.
Bad idea.
Yeah, like definitely look into it. Rethink your decision.
And listen, like it's okay to fucking cough your first or second or 10th time, all right? People are like, yeah, a lot of people I feel like, especially rookies, like they're scared to cough. It's a weird thing.
Yeah. Well, they feel ashamed and
It's like, dude,
honestly, it might
you're
be
supposed to cough.
Yeah, it might be the opposite. Like don't feel ashamed. That just shows like you did it.
Like, and if I'm smoking, if someone's smoking with me for their first time and they don't cough, I'm like, okay, you didn't
do enough.
You did not inhale. If you inhaled, you'd be hacking your lungs out right now.
Especially
if
if
you get one good hit and they're fucking hacking, then you're just like, all right, you're good to go. Just
exactly.
chill
If
for
you're
little
pulling
bit.
a tube and it's someone who doesn't normally pull tubes and they're not coughing. I mean, we pull tubes and I'm coughing sometimes.
Oh yeah,
uncontrollably for like 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes you just get a really milky yellow one
Yeah.
and you're just fucking hacking for a minute.
Exactly. So I really respect the people that like will pull a tube and they don't smoke normally and they're just coughing like shit
You
for
can
fucking
just see
5
the
minutes.
tear rolling
Yeah.
down their eyes.
Like literally I have a friend who was just a pledge last semester and
It's like, dude, just cough. You're okay. Like you're gonna fucking break something.
every time he smokes, and he just hits bongs normally. He takes one bong rip, and every time he's just like, and then just like goes in the bathroom. We're just like, respect,
Dude,
bro.
you don't gotta hide.
Yeah,
bro.
it's like it's cool, dude. But yeah, there was this time in high school. I remember we were in one of the girls' basements that we hang out with. And I don't know how, but it just became like an edible night. And the girls that don't normally smoke were like, fuck it, we'll take edibles. And there were multiple pukers.
Oh yeah.
I don't know
Just
if you
a
remember
basement
that.
full of zombies. No, I don't know what you're. Oh, you know what? I know what you're talking about, but no, I wasn't there. But like, yeah, it was. That's just a bad idea.
Exactly. It was just a bad idea.
Basement full of kids fucking eating greasy brownies.
And it was for the exact reason. They're like, I don't like smoking, but I want to get high. Like, I'll take an edible. And they ate way too much. And at the time, I just wasn't really like thinking about it. I also wasn't as experienced. So I was just like, fuck it. Yeah. Like, let's go. And
Did you eat one?
Yeah.
Were you cool?
Yeah.
Or were you puking?
But I also didn't eat as much as some of the girls. Because I was like,
really?
damn, you guys, well, I mean, just the classic thing that we just talked about for 10 minutes happened. Like they ate it, didn't feel it for a while. They're like, fuck it, we'll finish it between all of them. And then like almost every single one, I'm pretty sure, was puking by the end of the night. But yeah, edibles. Think about it.
Do a little research, think about it.
When you've
Fucking-
decided you're gonna eat one, think about it again.
Yeah, and then probably throw it away and call me and I'll roll you a little joint.
Yeah,
and let you
exactly.
hit it.
If you want to smoke and you're just a little bit nervous about it, or not even a little, if you're nervous about smoking, like smoke a joint.
And literally
Hit.
2 hits
Yeah.
tops.
One.
And wait for 10,
Wait 5-10 minutes.
5-10 minutes.
And
yeah.
then take another.
'Cause
Like,
That's the other thing I was gonna say. Like when you're smoking, the shit kind of eases onto you a
Yeah.
little more.
But it's
with
way
the edible,
faster.
it hits you like a train.
exactly.
Like you'll stand up and you're just instantly 0 to 100 fucking wrecked.
I mean, let's take joints, for example. Literally the most mild way that's common of smoking.
I think that's like that's probably the.
Maybe a bowl, but
No, I think probably joint. I don't know why, but I think joint.
yeah, so let's just say we're smoking a joint right now. Like, take one hit, you're probably not going to feel it. Maybe 2 or 3 in, within like 30 to 60 seconds, you at least feel it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you're not even high, but you're just like, okay, I feel different than I did 30 seconds
Yeah.
ago.
Like it's
So,
starting to come on.
yeah, like you're in your mind, you're like, okay, I am definitely something changed. So that's definitely, like we said, safest way.
Do you ever have a problem with alcohol and weed, like mixing them?
Like getting crossed.
Yeah.
What do you mean a problem?
Like, have you gotten crossed?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes it's like it's hit or miss. If I'm totaled, sometimes I smoke and it's awesome, but other times I smoke and I'm like instantly
Yeah.
fucking the whole planet is just spinning so fast.
Exactly. And you're just like, wow, this was a mistake.
And like your head just gets super heavy and you just drop it in between your legs and you're just drooling. You just don't know what to do.
But yeah, we were at I remember one time I came back from college. I think it was sophomore year, so this was like 2 years ago maybe. And I had been smoking the whole semester, so nothing was weird, but I went to my friend's house who lives in this neighborhood, and we smoked a blunt. And I took a couple hits, maybe 4 or 5, and like it was just bad. Like I just instantly started tweaking, puking, like I just greened out hard. And I feel like, I don't know if you can relate, but like sometimes shit happens. I don't know what it is.
I don't know if it's weed or if it's smoking, because sometimes when I smoke a drunk cig, like people say drunk cigs are like the best thing ever, and sometimes they are. But sometimes I'll smoke a drunk cig and I puke like almost instantly. And a drunk cig actually saved me and 2 people's lives. We'll talk about that in
Part 2.
part 2, yeah. But
But yeah, I don't know what it is. Like sometimes it just reacts different. I don't know. What do you think it is when you like green out? Or not green out, I'm just saying, like, have you ever puked from smoking? Just smoking.
oh yeah.
Oh, you have?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I thought it was just me.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, not just me, but like,
No, dude. Gas mask.
oh,
Have you ever hit a gas mask?
no.
Oh my god. It is. I'll probably never do it again. I have no desire to.
Well, I mean, I know,
Like,
I probably know who you're talking about that had one.
you definitely do.
Yeah.
But
Because I've been there when people were using it. And
yeah, I mean,
I was just like, fuck
if
no,
you don't
bro.
know what a gas mask is, you probably do. But so it's a bong, and the top of the bong, instead of just putting your lips to it, it's attached to a literal like
gas mask.
gas mask,
in
like a
war.
World War II
Yeah,
type gas
like in
mask.
war.
It doesn't have the respirators on the side. It just has the bong attaches like to a little mouthpiece in the center. You strap this fucker over your face, and it has the 2 eye holes,
Mhm.
the plexiglass eye holes, and you just light this fucker, and there's like a little choke on the back right above the water. So you hit it, and like it's weird because like you're used to putting your mouth around something and inhaling, but with
You're
this
just
you literally just
breathing.
go like you just breathe in, like you don't know what to do with your lips because you don't have to put them around anything, so you just breathe. And as soon as you let go of that choke, fucking smoke just shoots
Fills.
up into it, and you can't see anything.
No.
Like your eyes start to hurt because like you're just trapped in this mask. And yeah, dude, I was hitting that fucker probably in grade 9, grade 10, and I
and
mean,
you
it's so
tweaked.
much. It like the problem is with like a bong or anything else, you can always just take a little breath of air to the side. This thing you're fucking locked in. So you inhale and you exhale smoke. There's no other like unless you take it off, but when you take it off all the shit pours out so you're
Exactly.
wasting it.
So it's
So,
over.
so
Yeah.
you just got to crush it and
Well, yeah. If
be a
you're
trooper.
if you're using a gas mask, you're committing to the actual gas mask. So like you're accepting that you're gonna go like 10 to 20 straight
There's
breaths.
literally a strap that goes like around your head. This thing's attached. Like you can hit it with no hands. Like it just dangles off your face, dude, and it's fucked.
Uh,
But yeah, I hit one of those and fucking ran right into my buddy's garage and just hosed
oh
it all in
really?
the sink.
Were you tweaking though, or you just kind of puked and
No,
you were
I
just like,
wasn't.
I'm not good?
Yeah, no, I was cool. It wasn't. It wasn't like a tweak thing. I would just the smoke just like raped me. My lungs didn't know what to do.
Have you ever tweaked though? And by tweak, I mean like you're sitting there, you're not puking, you're just like sitting there, you're like, wow, I'm way too high, like something feels wrong.
Not that I can really remember. I mean, part two, I have like the story like the first time I really got fucking stoned, and like I wasn't like I was doing some weird shit, but I wasn't freaked out. Like I can't really think of any point. I mean, there was always like some paranoia. Like I remember like when I was like in early high school, like sometimes I'd sneak out like after my parents went to bed and go outside and smoke a bowl, and like dude, every like 20 seconds I'd look up at their bedroom window and I'd always think their lights coming on, and like every now and then like you think you hear sirens or some shit. You're just sitting in your room and it's silent, but like for whatever reason you're 99% sure there's cops at the front door. So there's that shit, but never I've never been like sitting there um like just totally total not knowing what's going on.
Yeah, I've been bad a few times. There was a stretch when I was like, I tweaked like 2 or 3 times in a row, and I got really sad like the next day after the third time, and I just was like, am I like done? Like, can I
Like
never smoke again?
sad about having bad experiences, or it's
Yes.
like, oh,
I
okay.
was like, can I like never smoke again? Like, did something happen and now like I'm just like fucking one of the bitches that just like complains like I can't smoke, like I tweak every time. Like that's literally become me. So yeah, I was really sad one time.
But yeah, I mean, we both were close with one one girl specifically who's been that's been her rap for years. I
Yeah.
smoked with her probably in freshman year, and she started trying to chase a hillside, and I tried telling her that the hill, like you can't chase a hill.
It's
It's
stagnant.
it's
It's
gonna
a,
stay there. You're
yeah.
just gonna go up the hill.
Yeah.
But
The hill just exists as a hill. There's
but
nothing more to it.
no, she wouldn't accept that, and she just kept going. But
Uh,
I think like that was one of the last times she smoked. But um, it's not for everybody. It's definitely not for everybody. But I think it's worth a try at least.
um, but yeah, to kind of wrap up smoking, I will say this. When I have been, and this is not an exclusive thing, but some of my happiest moments are when I'm just high with my friends. Whether it's friends here, friends at school, and like you're all high together. It's like I literally am so happy. It's like my favorite thing.
Dude, I was. That reminds me. The other day, one of my buddies from college is not buddies from high school. He's in college. He came home this weekend, or earlier this week actually, and it was just like me and two of my buddies like sitting in his basement, and we were just smoking and watching like Trailer Park Boys. And like at one point we were laughing like so fucking hard, and I just like took a second. I was like, fucking, this is why I love
Dude,
weed, dude.
yes.
Like I was literally crying. All three of us were crying at the scene of
At the
Trailer Park
show?
Boys
Okay.
that we've seen literally 100 times. I've seen every episode of that show so many times, and I've seen this like scene. I could quote it verbatim, but for whatever reason, we were just fucking stoned, and we like replayed the same part like 3 or 4 times, and every time it just got better and better. And like Alcohol cannot do that
No.
shit.
No.
So case closed.
Boom. But yeah, for me at least, like it's not even necessarily shows, although it has happened. But like when you're just sitting there and all your friends are high and you're just like laughing about something, like some random ass conversation has just spiraled, and you guys are just like uncontrollably laughing.
Just like random shit will like,
And it's like
shit that's not even funny will like
I'll
you'll just start dying for no reason at all.
um I'll fuck it. We'll tell a story in part 1 real quick. But one time Nola and I went to Kentucky. This is just one specific example that I can remember off the top of my head. We went to Kentucky. We decided to stay in one night, and we were
Oh
like,
my
fuck
God.
it, let's just smoke a dab pen and then watch Planet Earth. And everyone loves that. I mean, if you smoke weed and you don't like that, I can't be your friend, bro. Because like that's just got to be something like
Planet
it's always
Earth,
a back burner.
Planet
thing.
Earth like gets you high like by itself.
Yeah.
So when you're actually stoned looking at those animals and how fucking beautiful those shots are, it's like
It's just such a solid backup plan. Like worst case scenario, if you're trying to chill with your friends, you're just like, dude. Like worst case scenario, let's just smoke and watch Planet Earth, and everyone's like, dude, yeah,
and
sure.
like everybody's there's only
100%.
fucking like 10 episodes of Planet Earth.
I've probably seen the same ones hundreds of times,
Oh,
same scenes.
I've seen them all,
Yeah.
and every time they're still like so fucking crazy interesting and just beautiful.
But anyways, we went to Kentucky and did that, and we put it on.
Yeah,
we were taking like so long smoking. I don't know. We were just kind of high, immersed in it.
Yeah, because
And
we
we
couldn't
just-
find weed, but I
Yeah.
had my dab pen with me, and for whatever, like usually dab pens, like, I mean, with me they don't get me that stoned,
No.
but we were like, we crushed that whole thing pretty
Exactly.
much in the set.
Well, we were just-
in that like one sitting.
I mean, it was just we never took a break. Like we would hit it, pass it, hit it, pass it,
and
it
there were
just
like
kept
5
going
of us,
for
so
like
by the time it
30
got back
minutes.
to you, you're ready.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like 30 minutes straight of that. But anyways, in those 30 minutes, we had Planet Earth ready to go. All we had to do was press play. But obviously, if you know how Netflix works, if you wait too long, it goes into this like screensaver mode.
Yeah, we were probably just talking, just bullshit.
Exactly. So then all of a sudden we snap into it, maybe a couple seconds of silence, and we look at the screen. We're just like, holy shit, these pictures are crazy. I think it was me or I don't it doesn't matter who it
Yeah,
was,
it's
but
like
one
the-
of us was like, these pictures are crazy. And then all of a
It's
sudden
like-
we're all paying
It's
attention
the
to the pictures.
classic like screensaver, just absolutely jaw-dropping landscape pictures.
Like Nat Geo top 100 pictures of the year.
Easily.
So like these pictures
But it's
keep
just
coming
landscapes.
up. These pictures keep coming up, and I don't know who the first one was again, but we tried to, for some reason, guess why or where, sorry, not why, each picture was taken with no context. It's just a picture of nature. There's not like a landmark in
No.
there to help you at
Total
all either.
guess.
So I don't know why we were just like beyond confident, first of all, in
Oh.
our selections.
Super confident.
And we'll toss the video in. But yeah, we were just like so confident. And that is one of the funniest moments that I can remember off the top of my head while high with friends is just like people rattling off countries and nations
And,
and
like-
continents.
And like the goal of it was to try to be relevant, but also just pull a random ass country out of
Yes.
thin air.
You really wanted the random one that hit different.
Be like, bro, that's definitely Zimbabwe, dog.
And then everyone's like, holy fuck, yes.
You're like, yes.
Even though like it's a picture of a tree.
I think
we're just
in
like,
the
holy
video
shit,
there's
yeah.
like there's like a little argument about one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's the one
It's
time.
like someone's like, that's England. It's like, bullshit, dude. That's definitely Russia. What are you talking
It's a
about?
picture of a house, just a house by itself, and we're just like, no, it's not fucking England, you idiot. But there's the one that it's like it's like a picture of an open field, and someone goes Italy, and we're all just like, yes, yes, and then it's like maybe Argentina. Like, what was the point?
Someone just second guess
Yeah.
their way. Wait, maybe this might be South American actually. Now that I'm looking at it.
So like,
And we went on that for a good like 30 minutes.
oh yeah, I'm pretty sure we went till it started recycling the pictures, and,
And we're like, all right, let's
all
watch
right,
the
let's
Planet
watch later. Yeah, it's just like, all right, press play. Yeah, perfect example right there.
Yeah, dude, Planet Earth is awesome. I mean, sometimes I'll even just watch that sober.
Same.
Because like
If I'm real bored and can't find anything, it's just such a nice like backup thing, having the background, or if like
it's not like you can leave the room for 20 minutes and come back and
Yeah,
sit down and like you're good to
pick
go.
right back up where you
Yeah.
left off.
Cuz like every minute or two it's just like a new scene with just some sick ass animal that you've never seen like running on water or some fish that flies or some shit.
I don't know what it was. Planet Earth hit different that night.
That wasn't yeah, dude.
I've never
Honestly,
been so invested in
until
it.
you brought that up, I kind of forgot about that. That was funny as fuck.
It was just wild, like the whole sequence of that night. But that's just a further example of like these certain times, like the fact that they're still sticking in my head. This was like 3 years ago now. It's just crazy how much it has impacted me and like how I just visibly know where I was, what was happening, and how happy we all were, and just like immersed in the moment. And weed was a part of it.
Honestly, I don't know. I think me smoking has made me like it's like I would say like more in touch with nature in a way, but like I feel like
Yeah, appreciate.
I
I think is a good
appreciate nature way more than other people do. Like
exactly.
the other night, I was driving home from jujitsu with my buddy Will, and we're just like driving down the highway, and we notice the moon is like fucking massive and orange, like really big, and we're just like I was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna pull over, and we just like pulled over on the side of the highway and just like got out of the car and just took it
Looked at
in
it.
for like a
Yeah,
couple minutes and just got
exactly.
back in the car and kept driving. Like I I can
Were you
name
high?
no, we weren't, dude. That's what I'm saying. We were on our way back from training, so we were just like tired, completely sober, just chilling, and like I'm pretty confident that if I didn't smoke, I wouldn't have stopped to take in a moon.
Yeah.
Like that's not something a lot of people would do,
No.
especially younger people.
Well, I mean, anyone we know
I feel
that
like
we're.
that's something that like an old man would do.
I mean, think of any of our mutual friends that don't smoke and just drink. Like they'd never do something like that.
No. And if
Never.
they did, they'd do it to get a picture.
Yeah, exactly. And we weren't even about. You were just like, holy shit, this is amazing.
I was like,
That's just all it was.
I need to pull over just so I can like just take this in for a minute.
Yeah.
But like neither of us even like thought about pulling out our phones or like posting it. Like it was the sole reason was to just kind of be amazed for a second, look at it, appreciate how crazy some of the shit in this world is.
So to kind of wrap up, there's no doubt weed has like changed your life for the better. I'm like
Yes,
so glad that like I have done it in my life.
absolutely. Like I
And
said, I think it's changed a lot of the way how I look at a lot of things. I mean, it's changed my taste in music. It's changed a lot of shit.
and it's nice to see like a some of our friends that are like even if they don't smoke now, like they're actively seeking out like wanting to have it in their lives at some point.
Yeah, I'm starting to see that more and more people who like never really smoked at all, or maybe like a couple times throughout high school. There like a lot of more people are now starting to come around, and like even like I was saying earlier, my mom, like I've talked to my
Yeah.
mom. As far as I know, she hasn't tried it. I mean, she has when she was younger, but like recently,
Yeah.
she hasn't tried it. Um, but like if you would have asked me 10 years ago, I mean, obviously I would have been 10 years old, so it's kind of a different situation. But I would never imagine my mom smoking, or like even what we were just saying. Like a lot of our friends who don't smoke are now starting to come around and saying like, you know what, like I kind of want to try it again this summer.
Yeah. And that ties into the second thing I was going to say is not only is it nice to see our friends that like, sometimes weed just isn't meant for you and that's totally fine. But the fact that they want it to be meant for themselves and then now the fact that like you're starting to see society,
Yeah, the
especially
stigma's starting to
around the
fade away.
world, that like it's okay and in fact like should be something that depending on the person you are, it should be regularly in your life because it will help your quality of life. I'm just so glad to see that happening, and um, I honestly think it's something that when you have the right group of people together and you incorporate weed, it just makes that moment better.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of like not a bond, but like there's like special moments you have with people, like
Oh,
when you're both stoned.
if
Like smoking together, there's like just like a little bond when you
and
have.
even just say you're a big group of friends hanging out sober. The ones that you have smoked with in the past, you have like that bond with them like always.
Or
There's like a
like
special connection.
or even like back in the day, uh like earlier in high school when smoking was like a big no-no, when like you and like your homie would get stoned and then go to that hangout,
Hmm.
just like the whole time you guys
Yeah,
like
you
are kind
guys,
of just like you're looking at each other like both knowing you're on the same level
you're
and
just
like
completely bouncing off each other. You're like,
it's just like an unspoken bond.
I love like when you would like, especially in high school again, like if there was an event, like a public event, or even not even public, just a big group event, and then you and your friends would link up before and
Yeah.
like pregame it with a tube and then go. Like just the whole event is just so nice, like with you and that person, like or that small group of people, because you just know that you're all together in
Just
that state of
one
mind.
more quick story. I'm not even going to tell it, but were you there when we were going to I'll just say the twins' house, but before a bunch of boys went down in the woods to smoke like across from their house,
No,
and another parent's mom was like driving through the neighborhood and saw us through the woods?
they saw you.
Yes.
How? In the woods?
I think cuz it was like the end of fall, I'm pretty sure. I think it might have been like a Halloween party or something. I can't remember, but it was the end of fall, so like all the trees, all the leaves were gone.
Uh huh.
And so like she was pretty far away, but she like pulled into a driveway or something to turn around. I can't remember, but for whatever reason, she was able to see us. And it was just like five of us standing in a circle
Oh,
in the woods, and she had seen us earlier like walking down the street. We were just like we got dropped off up the
was that
street.
in high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember she like pulled around and she was like you guys like smoking back there? We're like, no, like what? No,
Just chilling.
we're just chilling. Yeah, like what do you even say
Yeah,
to that?
what do you
Like,
say?
nah,
Why the fuck would you be chilling in the woods
yeah,
right there?
like yeah. If I mean, if you get caught in the woods with a group of people, you're, you're doing something that you
Exactly.
shouldn't be.
Oh, but yeah, that's our stance. That's our stance on drugs and alcohol,
That's it. Well,
or
weed and
on
booze,
tubes and booze.
tubes and booze.
That's our stance. Um, Part 2 is coming.
Yeah, we're gonna take a little break, get a drink, and then 2 will be up next. Talk about some stories.
We'll get more specific and
some-
we'll get a little. It'll
some
definitely be
breakdowns.
funnier.
For sure. Yeah, this was more of a breakdown of the two, one versus the other, perks and
Yeah.
pros and cons.
Hopefully this one's relatable. The next one is just pure entertainment. So, if you are part of it, you'll enjoy it. And either way, we hope you listen to part 2, and we'll catch you next time.